Hello everyone, my name is Vijay. So in this video I'll be presenting the test bed for simulating autonomous vehicle. So let's start with its architecture. So there are five components in the architecture of the test bed. First one is the TORX, which is a racing car simulator. It can provide us real-time values of different sensors of the vehicle. Next is the Simulink model, which acts as an interface between the TORX and the gateway. Simulink receives the sensor values from TORX and sends it to the gateway via serial communication. Gateway then converts each sensor value into a separate CAN message and transmits them via CAN network to the ECU. ECU, which is an electronic control unit, it runs control algorithms of safety critical functionalities such as adaptive cruise control, collision avoidance, and steering control. These algorithms are implemented as a set of tasks which are scheduled with FreeRTOS scheduler. We use fixed priority scheduling for this. Output of these control algorithms are sent to a Simulink model, which then sends them to the TORX for controlling the vehicle. So this is the hardware of the test bed. We use Texas Instruments Hercules Development Board as an ECU and Freescale's Kinetis microcontroller board as gateways. Breadboard forms the CAN network with the terminating resistors. The Arduino is used to trigger the timing faults as CAN messages. And we use Code Composer Studio for compiling and debugging the FreeRTOS code into the ECU. So what you see here is the debug window of the Code Composer Studio, with which we can monitor the values of sensors and actuators. And in the Simulink model, we have a set of blocks which are used to interface with the gateway. So now the ECU is loaded with the FreeRTOS code. Gateways just run a bare metal program. So let's start the Torque simulator and select a new race. Torques and Simulink share a specific memory where Torques updates the sensor values in this memory location, which is read by the Simulink. Later, Simulink also updates the actuator values in this memory location received from the ECU. So once the Simulink is started, lead vehicle begins to move. A set of blocks in the Simulink controls the lead vehicle, whereas the follower vehicle is controlled by the control algorithms running the ECU. So the cruise control performs two functionalities. First one is a safety functionality where it tries to maintain a specific distance between the lead vehicle and the follower vehicle. So this is achieved either with a PID control or an on-off control mechanism. Second one is an intelligent speed adaptation. That is, whenever the vehicle is supposed to pass through a curve, cruise controller cruise controller reduces the vehicle speed to a specific value so that there is no much deviation from the center of the lane. On the right hand side, we see a scope that plots real-time values of three parameters. First is the heading error, which shows how well the lateral control of the vehicle is being done. Second is the acceleration parameter, which shows how well the longitudinal control of the vehicle is being done. Third is the distance between the follower and the lead vehicle, which conveys the safety aspect of the cruise control. So we conducted two experiments to see the effect of degradation of cruise control to handle the budget overrun of other tasks. So in experiment one, we simulated the timing fault, that is budget overrun of stereo task. And to handle the budget overrun, we degraded cruise control by disabling its intelligent speed adaptation. So on the right hand side of the screen, what we see is a scope which monitors the real-time values of three parameters: the heading error, acceleration, and the distance between the vehicles. And we see that the ISA is still active and there is no overrun detected. So let's trigger a budget overrun of steer task by triggering a CAN message from Arduino. When a CAN message is triggered by the Arduino, an additional for loop is activated in the steer task, which increases its execution time. So this can be considered as a budget overrun of steer task. So what we see here is that even if it is a curve, the vehicle's speed is higher as the intelligent speed adaptation of cruise control is disabled to reduce the execution of cruise control to handle the budget overrun of steer task. Therefore, we have to trade off performance of cruise control to properly handle the budget overrun of safety critical steer control. So in the second experiment, we simulated the budget overrun of collisions avoidance task, and then we degraded the cruise control by switching from PID to on-off to handle the budget overrun. So this is still in the previous experiment. We see that the fluctuations of heading error is more. So now let's simulate the budget overrun of collisions avoidance task by triggering a CAN message using the Arduino. We'll be seeing that collisions avoidance overrun is set to 1 and on-off is set to 1. So now PID is disabled and on-off mechanism is active. So we see that there is an abrupt braking and acceleration applied by the on-off control mechanism. So this leads to the increase in fluctuations of the acceleration and braking. So with on-off control mechanism being active, we see that the fluctuations of acceleration has increased and also the heading error. So what we observe is that even if cruise control was degraded, it was able to ensure its safety functionality, which is of maintaining a minimum distance between the follower and the lead vehicle. Therefore, it is possible to consider a specific way of degrading a task's functionality depending on the tasks that have overrun its budget.